Are you still with us on our journey into freaky fractions? What is an improper fraction? What is a mixed number? Let's take a look. So to answer those two questions, we're going to look at this fraction addition here. Let's imagine we're talking about pizza again. Pizza, yum yum. Here we have one pizza that's originally cut into 7 slices and there are only 6 left. Here we have the same size pizza, originally cut into 7 slices as well, but there are only 5 pieces left. So what we're asking here is if we put those together, how many whole pizzas do we have? Well, we can just do the simple fraction addition. We have a common denominator, and now we just add the numerators. 6 plus 5 is 11 over 7. As always, but this is a bit different this time. What we notice here is we have the numerator smaller than the denominator, and here as well, the numerator is smaller than the denominator. These two fractions here are what are called proper fractions, and what we get in our result is a numerator larger than a denominator. When that happens, this is called an improper fraction. Okay, so here we have proper fractions where the top is smaller than the bottom. Here we have an improper fraction when the top is bigger than the bottom. Now what do? We've got an answer here, but how many whole pizzas is that? If we look at that, you actually can't tell, can you? Well, if we had to put this number on a number line, where would it go? Which whole numbers would it go between? So we'll go into something now that explains one of the great secrets of mathematics. A fraction is actually a division. Did you know that? I knew that. Well, what about the viewers outside? Did you know that? Did you know that the division symbol, which we all know and love, is actually the picture of a fraction? The bar is actually the fraction bar, and the 2 dots represent the numerator and the denominator. So whenever you see a fraction, it is actually a division. This is 11 divided by 7. Knowing that, we have some other ways we can present this. So why don't we do this division? 11 over 7 is actually 11 divided by 7. 7 divides into 11 once. Okay, and doing the long division here, 1 7 is 7. Subtracting gives us 4. So our answer is 1 remainder 4. Why don't we write that here? 1 remainder 4. Okay, so it's going to be 1 whole pizza we have with 4 slices left over. And again, there's actually one more way we can write this. 1 whole pizza plus 4/7 of a second pizza. We don't actually have 2 whole pizzas. We have 1 whole pizza plus 4/7 of a second pizza. Okay, and this number here is the way we actually write it in the end. We can actually drop the plus as well to give us a final answer of 1 and 4 over 7. This is the correct final way we should actually answer this problem. 1 and 4/7. This number here is actually called a mixed number. Why is it called a mixed number? Because it's got both a whole number part and a fractional part. Okay, so there's the concept. Proper fractions, improper fraction, and our mixed number. Before we try a couple of examples, let's just look at our mixed number again. What if we had to turn this back into an improper fraction? What we do is we do the whole number part times the denominator, 1 times 7, and then we add it to the numerator part. So 1 times 7 is 7, plus 4 is 11. And the denominator just carries from over here. Okay, that is how we transfer a mixed number into an improper fraction. Why is that? Aren't you going to explain why that works? I'm actually going to look at it later. So we now know what a mixed number is and we know what an improper fraction is. Let's try a couple of examples. We're going to change the improper fractions here into mixed numbers. So like we said before, 17 over 3, we need to do the division. 3 into 17. How many times does that go? 3 5s are 15, and 3 6s are 18. So that's going to go 5 whole times. 5 3s are 15. Subtracting gives us 2. So we get 5 remainder 2. Writing that as a mixed number, we get 5 and 2/3. Let's try another one. Write 14 over 5 as a mixed number. Let's do the division. Okay, remember a fraction is simply a division. 14 divided by 5. 14 divided by 5. How many times does 5 go into 14? 5 2s are 10. 5 3s are 15, so 2 whole times. Multiply 2 5s at 10 and subtract, we get 4. So we get 2 and remainder 4. So as a mixed number, 14 over 5 can be written as 2 and 4/5. Like that. Now for example 2, let's try going back the other way. So this time we have mixed numbers. We're going to try going into improper fraction form. So like we said, 1 and 5 over 8. All we need to do is multiply 1 times 8, which is 8, plus 5, which is 13, and we keep the same denominator. 13 over 8 is our improper fraction here. Let's give this one a go. Same idea. 3 times 7 is 21, and then plus the 2 is 23, giving us 23 over 7. Maybe now's the time to explain why that works? Do you really think I should? I don't want to confuse anybody now. But you said you would, so do it. Alright, why not? So we just did this trick, right? 3 times 7 plus 2 gives 23 over 7. Kind of a trick. It's not really explaining why that's true though. Let's actually take a look. Let's write 3 and 2 over 7 down here. You don't have to do this, by the way. I'm just explaining it. We can write this as 3, and remember, there's actually a plus in the middle there that is inferred. 2 over 7. Let's just add these two numbers. Let's just do regular fraction addition and see what happens. How do I write 3 as a fraction? Well, 3 over 1. We want to add these two fractions, but we don't have a common denominator. Uh-oh, what do? 3 over 1 plus 2 over 7. What will be our lowest common denominator here? Well, what's the lowest common multiple of 1 and 7? Obviously it's going to be 7. How do I turn a 1 into a 7? Multiply by 7, and I've got to do it to the top as well, which gives me 21 over 7 plus 2 over 7. Yippee, we now have our common denominator. So let's add these. 21 plus 2. 23 over 7. So that explains how we get the 23 over 7. The 3 and the 7 get multiplied together because this number here needs to become matching to that to get our common denominator. And then once the common denominators are established, we then just add the result to this numerator here. Okay, so we always end up doing this number times 7, giving 21, and then it gets added to 2 over here, giving us 23 over 7 as our improper fraction. Happy? Yes, very happy. Hopefully you've got the hang of it now, because it's your turn. Give examples 3 and 4 a try. In example 3, try turning these improper fractions into mixed numbers. And in example 4, try turning these mixed numbers back into improper fractions. Were you able to do it? Please put your answers in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching.